Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 510 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. Sometimes I feel like when I come on here, I'm laughing because I'm usually on like take 5 or 6, and I'm going, please let this be the one that does it. Anyway, you're worth it, and it's awesome to be with you. And I love feeling connected to you guys every week. Even though I don't know a lot of you, I don't know most of you, in fact. I feel that we're kindred spirits because we know that life is what you make of it. And we also know that every day that we have a positive mindset is going to be a good day in some way. We're not always perfect with that, but we never give up. And I love that. So I was thinking this last week about how much life changes. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? I mean, change is inevitable. Every single one of us experiences change in one way or another. And if you're like me, and I think some of you are, a lot of you are, I don't like it. Sometimes I just want things to stay the same or go back to the way they were. But that's me fighting reality. And the reality is life is constantly changing. And if we don't evolve right alongside of it, then we're left behind, wishing or waiting for things to go back to the way they were. But it's never going to. Is that harsh? I don't want it to be. I just want us to all accept that life is a never-ending episode of change, change, change. And as humans, we also like familiarity and comfort. So it's pretty common to want things to stay the same. But when you live a big life and you have a lot of friends and family, or even if you just have a few friends and a few family members, it's inevitable that things are going to change. And when they change, sometimes it's sad and painful, and you want things to slow down or you want them to go back to the way they were. But you can never go back. I mean, we're always meant to move forward. It's just whether we move forward with an optimism or we look forward with the thought that the best was behind us. Our good friends, some of our dearest friends, had his retirement party. They retired from FedEx. He flew with my husband, Eric. And these were very, very good friends of ours, and they still are. I say were. They're still good friends of ours. Just because they're retiring doesn't make them not friends. But this set of friends always had the company Christmas party at their house. They had this big, beautiful house in the country, and so they've been having this party for as long as I can remember. I think it's probably goes back 20 years, maybe even before we were part of it. And so this last week he retired, and we went to they call it a Finney flight, where his last time that he's landing, they actually have water hoses or however they do it. They have water, and it's kind of, they make a big deal of their last flight. And I love that. And we were able to be a part of it, and we're glad to be. But we went to their home after that for lunch for his retirement. And it's bittersweet because they're moving. So they've sold their house, and it's going to close in a month or so. And we had a wonderful time. But as we're walking out of their house, I said to Eric, this is probably the last time we're going to be in this house. And we've had so many good times here. And it made me sad. And when we were driving home, I was really sad. It was kind of a rainy day, very gloomy. And so I stayed being sad for a little bit. And I let myself be sad because I am going to miss that. And I'm going to miss them too because they're moving. But then, as I often do, and I talk to you guys about this a lot, I search for ways to be optimistic. And sometimes that's hard because life happens. And there was part of me saying, well, there's nothing to be optimistic about in this situation because we're going to really miss those friends, and we're going to really miss that party. And that party was a big part of our Christmas celebration every year. But if you think about it, that's kind of a fatalistic way to look at things, though, because it's implying that there's not going to be an equally or even more fun party that this opens up to. There may be a new tradition that we find that is just fine, or maybe even more fun. I mean, it's always thinking that the best is behind us, or there'll never be another group like that, or life will never be this good again. These are such fatalistic thoughts, and they do nothing but cause us unnecessary pain. My husband said that when he was in the military, there was a camaraderie that was unlike anything he thought he would ever see again. He became so close to a lot of the guys that he was in the military with. They were a tight-knit group. Now, that's true for a lot of people, but a lot of people don't make the military their career. Now, some do, but for a lot of them that don't, they get out and they move on to other jobs. So when Eric was leaving the military, it was hard for him and his friends because they're moving on and they're moving to different companies in different parts of the country, sometimes different parts of the world. And Eric never thought that he didn't think that he'd find that sort of group dynamic again. But here he was at FedEx for the last almost 25 years that he's been at that company. And for about the last 20 years, he's had friends that are as close, if not closer, a whole group of them, as close, if not closer than the ones that he had in the military. Oh, and bonus, he's still close with his buddies from the military. They get together once a year. My point being is, if you leave yourself space for the idea that the best is yet to come, it will. I can remember when I was single and dating and I'd be in a relationship with someone and I would think, oh, I don't want anyone else but this person. No one else could even come close. And then that relationship ended. And once I found a new relationship, which I was open to, so it happened. But once I found a new relationship, I would think, man, I'm so glad that old relationship didn't work out because this one's so much better. You see, even when you're sad, if you can leave space to feel peace, or leave space for the idea that there's something even better on the way, when it shows up, you'll be open to it. I had a friend that told me when she first started college, she missed her high school friends so bad. And so every weekend she headed home to hang out with them instead of staying in college trying to build new friendships. Eventually, the friends back home moved on. And once she started hanging out with her college friends, she was kind of forced to stay home at that point. She realized that, hey, these people, they're just as fun and sometimes even more fun than her friends that she had in high school. And they're kind of growing along with her. See, sometimes we box ourselves in by saying, oh, the only way I can be happy is if things are this way, or if this person is here, if this person weren't here. We say things like, Christmas will never be the same, or I'll never be happy again unless this happens. I've heard a few people say, I don't have room for new friends. I don't want new friends. But what if you missed out on meeting your best friend ever by having that thought? Maybe, maybe not. But closing yourself off to new opportunities can be problematic when inevitably life changes. Because look, when one door closes, another one opens. And when we box ourselves in, we shut off the opportunity to even see the new door, let alone walk through it. I mean, we all have endings and we all have new beginnings. There's things that change that we wish would stay the same or go back to the way that it used to be. There are people we wish were still around and new people that we welcome in. It's being open to those new things that makes them possible. My challenge to you this week is to notice if you ever have fatalistic thoughts like there will never be another person for me, or I don't need to meet new people, or I don't love Christmas like I used to because this person is gone. These types of thoughts are common, but they're harmful. Don't box yourself in. The best is yet to come can be true for you too, but you have to be open to it. Share this with 3 people who the best is yet to come for them. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.